All right, everyone. It's Monday. Welcome to Nerdcamp Sports. I'll be moderating this evening. Mike Williams. I got Raja Anthony Ali. R&B should be joining us shortly. How you feeling tonight, my brother?
Feeling pretty good, man. Football season's right around the corner. I've been watching a lot of preseason games, a lot of scouting for fantasy, like we were just talking about earlier. So I'm feeling
Absolutely.
I'm feeling a little bit better now, man. Summer's almost over, and we're going into that fall season where sports is really hot.
All right. And mental health today, 1 to 10.
I would probably say a 6, maybe a 6.5. There's a
All
lot of
right.
stuff going on, but I'm
All right.
alive. I'm thankful, you know what I'm saying? And everyone else that I care about and love is alive. So that's all that matters.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd say I'm at about an 8 today.
That's
Uh,
good.
you know,
That's real good.
my spirits have been real high as of late. So,
Good.
we're just maintaining it, taking it day by day, just trying
Yep.
to, get somewhere in this crazy world.
Exactly.
So we're gonna start off with I want to talk a little bit about the NBA schedule. I
Okay.
have not gone through the whole thing. Um, but I did want to point out a key thing that a lot of people are upset about, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they have the least amount of back to back games this season? The least amount of 3 games in a 4 day span, and they don't play a Western Conference game team until the 18th game of the season? In the
Adams.
world, like,
Oh,
yo, I've never, bro, in the history of watching sports, have
uh-huh.
ever heard of fans who know the schedule of a team like that. What
Mm-hmm.
are
Mm-hmm.
your critiques of that specific form of scheduling for Philly?
First and foremost, shout out to the Philadelphia 76ers. Shout out to Adam Silver for lining them up to help them get to the position that they're in, to help them get into a place at least they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals, which I predicted, ladies and gentlemen. I knew this was going to happen. That's why Adam Silver said publicly, LeBron, make your decision so we can start working on a schedule. Because they all know this is the LeBron James farewell tour. They all know they're trying to give him the opportunity to at least get 5 rings. I don't know about 6 because he signed a 2-year deal, so I don't think he's going to get 6 rings. But I do believe he's going to win the championship with Philly this season and potentially retire. Who knows? But it's sad when you got people like um, analysts and people that's watching the schedules and they're looking at it and they're seeing it in real time. It's sad. And I'm saying sad because if you see it and I see it and we're not even in the inside like that, imagine what the insiders see and them knowing that this is the best schedule you could potentially have, especially with an aging team and a team that's riddled with injuries like with Joel Embiid and people like LeBron James, who's 41 years old. So let's be honest. This is a perfect opportunity for them.
I'll say this. The league in the LeBron James era. So it's crazy to say.
Mm-hmm.
2003 to now.
Yeah, which is 23 years,
Almost a quarter century. This
damn near a
man,
quarter century.
this man's been in the league. The peak for the NBA during that time, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
was when he was going to those finals 8 in a row.
Right.
And I say that to say that now, as we are obviously much closer to the end than we are the beginning or even the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and that this move to the Sixers was completely a move for a championship.
Yes.
And the league knows that Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but did you know that the Knicks and the Sixers, the opener is the most expensive opener in NBA history? They
I
said.
bet. I
I
bet.
believe it's in the Garden. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so when I look at that, and they're looking to make money, right? And
Yes.
where's money? Listen, I don't care what no one says. You have your Wimbies out there, your SGAs, your Jokers, and all that. But LeBron James is still the face of this league, whether
That's
people
right.
like it or not. So for them, they know people gonna go watch them Philly games. They know people gonna want to see it. And they know damn good and damn well the best place for LeBron James to be for them, especially after leaving the Lakers to go to Philly, is back to
Mm-hmm.
the NBA Finals. Now,
Yep.
how can they help that happen? Right? We know Joel Embiid and back to backs are not friends.
No.
So what do? You give them less. You know that 3 games in 4 days is not an easy task. What do? You don't do it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron has had his fair share of injuries, but when the playoffs come and it's time to play, the man's going to suit up.
Right.
And Joel Embiid, he only played 38 games last season, but the key was he ended healthy. He was got to the playoffs and played all the games. So now you come to a point where it's like, all right, what can we do? The league knows what they're doing. And not to mention, I think it's a little bit of not a statistic move, a smart move, because I'm not gonna lie, when the NBA comes back, I watch like the week that it opens because
Mm-hmm.
those are your marquee matchups, and
Right.
then I kind of don't watch for a while football is going on.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA is there, but it doesn't have all my attention, right?
Right.
So, and then the NBA, the NFL be stretching the schedule now. So, like when it was just Sunday, Monday, and even Thursday, you're like, all right, cool. But now these motherfuckers want Friday games and Tuesday
Crazy.
games.
I
Like
might as well
I've been
take Saturdays too.
towards the end of the season, we get those too. So so to me, I'm looking at this schedule, and it's just or for them, and it's a strategic move by them, and I think that that it's important to them. Why to do that? It's important to them, especially considering he just made this move. It's important
Mm-hmm.
for them to try and get the Sixers into the finals. And I will say that, and to go off of your other point is I also do believe that I think he will get championship 5,
Yeah.
and if they get it somehow this year, he may just say, So to me, it'd be a good one to end it on. But
Yeah.
to me, I believe LeBron James will want an actual retirement tour. Like he would want to announce he's going to retire. The man announces everything else. Like, he's gonna
Yeah.
want that tour, in my opinion. What's up,
But
R&B?
what's up, man?
What up, though?
We just kind of talked about the NBA schedule, specifically the Sixers schedule to start the season, where um, they have the least amount of back to backs, they have the least amount of 3 games in 4 days, and they don't play a Western Conference game until their 18th game of the season. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I seen that. I actually had screenshot that to send over to you, and I just never got around to it. But it's a cupcake ass schedule, and I'm gonna ask the famous question for Adam Silver and LeBron James: how long y'all been fucking, B? That's what I want to know. That's what the fuck I want to know. How long these two motherfuckers been fucking? Because that favorable ass schedule that they just gave the 76ers, bro, that shit is ridiculous, dog. I'm like, how much more do you need to go in your favor, your way? My God, like this dude, it, it's like we seen Jordan and Kobe and Shaq or some of these other greats. It's like we seen them all went on Hall of Fame or superstar mode, and now LeBron come along and he playing on Hall of Fame, but he adjusting the sliders to rookie.
Mm.
It's ridiculous, man. I ain't that shit whack. Like, come on, bro. But
Yeah,
whatever.
and just a few other things that I just wanted to point out about the schedule. Has President's Day always been a big NBA day, or or is that new? Am I mistaken?
You that is new.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because we got a pretty good quadruple header on President's Day this year. That'll be
Is
12
that a
o'clock.
Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
President's Day is a Monday. So it's gonna be the Timberwolves and the Hornets on Peacock. Oh, they're all NBC or Peacock, but Sixers, Mavericks at 2:30, Heat, Spurs at 5, Warriors, Pacers at 7:30.
As the resident guest of the show here, who y'all know I don't celebrate holidays, so it's hard for me to keep up with that thing there. What month is that? Because I have no idea.
President's Day's in February.
Oh, okay, makes sense. Right around the time that the NBA starts to get their I guess what you can call they solo attraction time or whatever after the Super Bowl, because real fans paying attention to the NBA as soon as it starts. It's just that we ain't gonna pick the NFL. I mean, pick it over the NFL until after the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as for the MLK schedule, we got Pistons, Cavaliers, Sixers, Hawks, Timberwolves, Knicks, Rockets, Grizzlies.
Oh.
Who asked for Rockets and Grizzlies?
Exactly.
They got rid of Ja Morant. Now they want. Well, I know they do. I know they do the Martin Luther King thing because of Memphis, but they could have picked. They could have picked a better. Like, I don't know.
And
they could have been picked a little bit differently.
Absolutely. Christmas Day is Spurs, Knicks at 12. Heat, Celtics 2:30. Sixers at LA 5 o'clock. OKC at Minnesota 8 o'clock. Wolves, Warriors 10:30.
Okay.
So a few things. If you guys had to say, what's one thing that you believe that one like out of the water thing that could happen this NBA season in your mind? Just anything. Could be anything you want. Whether it be a certain MVP winner, a cup winner, a finals winner, just whatever.
Wait, what was the question? I'm sorry.
Something out of the water or out of the blue that you think could happen this season. Anything at all. There's no wrong answer. It's just an opinion.
That's a hard one though, Mike, because I honestly can't really think of nothing because it's such a I really feel like it's not a lot of parity so far coming into this next NBA season, so it's hard to really pick one right now.
We'll save that question for when we get closer to the season.
I mean, matter of fact, I give you something. I give you something. I think we bound to see a superstar get moved at the trade deadline or before. Rumors are Austin Reeves could get moved, which we just seen the Lakers got sold. Kevin Durant is highly rumored to be in the trade, being Houston's trade favor, saying that they looking to move on from him. And then I also seen a rumor about what was the third player? It was Kevin Durant, Austin Reeves, Steph Curry. That Golden State could potentially decide to move on from Steph Curry at the trade deadline if he so wishes. So I'll go with that one, I guess. Maybe we'll see one of these stars get moved.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Especially the Kevin Durant situation. Lord knows he's well overdue to get moved because of what happened last season and the burner account. I'm surprised he's still there in Houston, to be honest.
Me too.
I think he gets moved. I don't know where. I don't have any like idea where they'll move him, but I do feel like the Kevin Durant fatigue is going to definitely set in probably around, I want to say, by Christmas. By
Hmm.
Christmas time, the Kevin Durant fatigue is definitely going to be like, all right, let's get him up out of here.
Funny
So
thing, funny thing is in the
mhm.
rumor that I saw about Houston and Golden State that Houston is highly interested in making a move for Steph Curry involving trading Kevin Durant. So if
I
that
can
was
see
to
that.
go down, that would be crazy.
I can see that. And you know what? To be honest, that would be a good move for Houston.
It would for them.
Yeah,
I
I don't know about Golden
really know what
State,
that
but I
would be
know,
do for Golden State.
yeah, Golden State would be in rebuild mode. But I could definitely see Steph Curry doing really good in Houston with those young stars.
Well, it's gonna be interesting. But while I heard it in what R&B was saying, the Lakers sold their or the Bus family rather, right? Is that correct?
Nope, nope. The guy that remember the Bus family sold the majority controlling ownership to I think his name was Mark something last year. He
Okay.
just
Hmm.
he just sold. So actually heard something earlier on the TV where they was talking about Jeannie Buss has lawyered up because her other five siblings have all voted to sell the bus's portion as well, but she is against it. So now she's lawyered up and trying to, keep her job as the governor and state, so it's a lot of shit going on with that right now. So officially right now the bus name is still a part of the Lakers minority ownership.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, I did read that this, because obviously the ramblings of excuse me of this sale was happening before LeBron made his decision, and I had read somewhere that that was a contributing factor in his decision to leave.
Mm.
Um, you know, and just from an overall standpoint, how much do you guys believe ownership truly plays a role in a team, especially the players in the day to day? Go ahead, Raj.
Um, I would say it plays a huge role. We just watched and witnessed the Knicks win their first championship in like 50 something years because Jim Dolan was out of the picture, even though he was still the owner and still as far as like the guy that owns the Knicks and MSG, he wasn't the focal point. He wasn't a day-to-day guy. So
Right.
he turned that over to Leon Rose. He turned that over to Worldwide West. I want to say about 5 or 6 years ago, after that whole debacle went down with Phil Jackson, and that whole situation turned left, went left, excuse me. So he turned it over. He said, "Look, I'm gonna turn it over to Leon Rose and Worldwide West." And I think that was a great move because they built a culture there. They found a way to focus on the actual game, focus on the players versus it being a place where people are just coming in from out of town and just buying tickets. And I think
Right.
that's something that is huge for any big market or even a small market. But small markets 9 times out of 10 play more of a hands-on role, like we watch with other teams, like the Orlando Magic. We watched it with teams like what's that, the Bucks. Their ownership with their relationship with Giannis and stuff like that. So there's a lot of teams that are small market that are more hands-on. But when you have a big market team like the LAs of the world and the New Yorks of the world, if you have a horrible owner like James Dolan, that can put you back centuries or damn near half a century. When it comes down to being competitive and winning championships. So I think it plays a huge role. Sometimes people just got to just shut up and just cast and just pay the money. Stop being so damn involved, and if you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Fact, Rogers, he's 100% correct. I have to agree with him on this one, especially as someone that lives in Detroit and being a Detroit Lions fan majority of my life. Ownership definitely played a big part and why they were so sorry and for so long, and it took for people to die off and things to transcend down to younger generation or a different generation for things to finally take a turn and be handled in a different way, and now look at us, so ownership definitely uh plays a huge part, because I mean, just think of the word ownership. Owner.
Yep.
They got the final call. They got the final say. So I would probably say it's probably over 50% of what causes a franchise to be successful or a failure lands in the lap of ownership, because they have so much of the crucial cause to spend the money or save money, be cheap, whatever the case may be. We've heard of numerous times over the years where people would talk about ownerships and different franchises that they knew they weren't trying to win. They were there just there to sell tickets or whatever. So that's a call that's being made. Hey, we not interested in championships. We just interested in putting butts in seats and making money. That's a call that's being made. That's an ownership call. So with that being said, I agree with them.
Yeah. And I'll give you one example of one big example. Speaking of NFL, the damn New York Jets. Like, how long are we gonna deal with these ownerships of the Jets? It's just sad because we can't even get nothing right. And until I feel like R&B was saying, somebody either dies off or decide to sell the team, they're not going to be taken serious. It's been over what? I've been watching the Jets for like 30 something years, 38 years that I can remember. And they suck every year. And it's because ownership don't take it serious. If they took the team serious as the New York Giants, at least, to that standard, I'm not saying you got to be like, the New England Patriots and Robert Kraft, but damn it, can we get a reasonable coach and a reasonable quarterback? They do some underhanded stuff. I don't know. It plays a huge role. And when R&B said ownership, that is, they're the one that write the final check. So regardless if you have good players on your team, good coaching, it all plays a role. It comes right back to the owners. I'll give you one more example, and then I'll be quiet with my take.
Yeah, you good, bro.
Le'Veon Bell. Dogs. We had no business picking him up. We had no business picking him up. He was literally the Antonio Davis of running backs. I was so mad. I'm like, this dude's a head case. This dude is a head case. And you know who wanted him? The owner. The owner wanted him, man. I said, this is crazy. That's all I got to say, man. Sometimes you got to look at the ownership and say, yo, what the hell are you doing?
Well, I agree with both of you. I'm just going to take another angle at it. I believe an owner can destroy a team.
Right.
Two people come to mind. Number one is Donald Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
We all know. And, obviously, even though the Clippers at that time were really, really bad in the laughing stock of the two LA teams, they're still in a large market. They're still making millions, maybe even billions of dollars due to that market. And, he really damaged the image of not just that franchise, but of the whole league to where they voted him out.
Yep.
That's one. And I'm surprised neither one of you said it, but y'all know who number 2 is. That star down there in Texas, Jerry Jones.
Oh,
Jerry Jones. It doesn't matter what the Dallas Cowboys do. As long as that man is still breathing, this franchise is going to be where it is. We know how Jerry does business. And I think that's a big part of the reason why they get into the predicaments they're in, right? Because, a player will earn his money and then he'll wait and wait and wait so long. And then the player doesn't live up to the money, with the exception of Dak when he can stay healthy, Um, and then they just go into these phases of, how can I put it? When the lights are on, man, they falter. But Jerry wants to be the owner, the president, the vice president, the COO, the CFO, the CEO, the head coach. He wants to do everything but get on the field, and
sometimes you want
play.
to do that.
So to me, when I look at ownership, it's highly, highly important. It's highly, highly strategic in having an owner that cares, and the owner and the general manager should be working in condescent to make the team work. Owner says, this is what I want. Do this, this, and this, and to your point also, Raj, about Le'Veon Bell. I mean, man, anytime a player, especially a running back, takes a year off, it can do damage. Especially when it's a non-injury thing. Like, it's not like he was injured. He just wanted the bag. And he didn't like the bag that Pittsburgh was giving him. Well, not so much the money. He wanted more guaranteed money that Pittsburgh wasn't going to give him. And he got the money he wanted and just wasn't able to live up to the expectation. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But
I mean, yeah, you're right.
So we gonna, I think ownership plays a role, and we gotta just really, we really just gotta take it one day at a time, one season at a time, and let it be what it be.
I mean, one more thing about the Jets
Go ahead.
and Le'Veon Bell. I forgot it. Remember they hired that coach that looked like Jim Carrey on hold on.
Who? Adam Gase.
Adam Gase. The one who looked like he was being high in his press conference. He looked like he was, I don't know what the fuck you call that. I ain't never smoked nothing, drank nothing, nothing that had me looking like that.
Yo, homie looked like he done took the whole entire shrooms to the face. Like, he ate the whole bag. Anyway, I remember how bad it was and how toxic it was when he hired him. Like, nobody liked him as a coach. And guess who hired him? Woody Johnson. Like, Woody Johnson did some things that should have him locked up forever, man. I mean, I don't know.
When I heard about Woody Johnson allowing his son to tell him players to sign or draft according to their overalls on the video game, I was done with that situation just off of that. But I did want to give a little bit of pushback to Mike on Jerry Jones. I don't feel like Jerry Jones is the best owner, but I definitely don't feel like he's the worst owner. I don't think he's on that lower tier that we may be talking about. I think he's a few steps above that. I know he can be a little hard-headed in the way he does things and being the owner and GM and stuff like that. But overall, we have to give Jerry his flowers. He did, have a part in bringing home 3 Super Bowls. He does keep the Cowboys very, very relevant and at tops of worth as a brand and sports as a whole, not just the NFL. They one of the top worth brands in the sports world. And he does a pretty solid to good job of going out and signing players and finding talent in the draft. Like Jerry has drafted some great players over the years. So I do think that sometimes he can get in his own way, or
Be
so.
overbearing.
But I also think that they just have a black cloud over that franchise sometimes that is not Jerry. They just cursed at times because it just be some shit. At least in the past, you know what I'm saying? Like it'd be shit where it'd be like, what the fuck? Like whatever can go wrong will go wrong, as Stephen they used to always say. But I just give a little pushback on Jerry because I think overall Jerry ain't the owner we talking about. He can be a little irritating, but he ain't what we talking about though, in my opinion.
I mean, the only thing I would say to that is, and it's all about timing. What have you done for me lately? His fans are so annoying, which is why I blame him because I'm tired of his fans. They were quiet last year. I'll give them that because they ain't have really much to talk about. But what you're saying is correct. However, at the end of the day, that's what people are looking at. Dallas has had plenty of teams in recent years that could win the Super Bowl. And I am one of the most certified Dallas Cowboy haters. So, but I have to call a spade, and they have had some teams, and Dak Prescott has had some damn seasons where he was looking like a top 5 MVP quarterback, and then you get to the playoffs and it's just a downfall. Dallas is obviously a household name, and not even just in football, but in sports. So when I think about, the top teams in all of sports, I think Yankees, I think, Red Sox, I think Dodgers, basketball, you think Lakers, you think Celtics, you think Knicks, maybe you can throw maybe you could throw the Heat in there, right? Hell, I could even throw the Pistons in there definitely from a historical standpoint. When you think football, yeah, you think Giants, Steelers, Cowboys, so I can't take that away from him. But it's gonna be interesting. I can say that. Just to see where that goes from here and what this season brings for them as well as a lot of other teams.
Right.
So, okay. So I wanted to wait till you were on R&B to discuss this. I'm going to ask a question to enter this topic. This the same question for both of you in R&B. I'd like you to go first. Mm-hmm. Is Russell Westbrook a top 5 point guard all time?
Oh man, let me see here. Give me 10 seconds.
And if you want to name 5, that's fine too. But
that's what I'm doing in my head. I guess I can kind of do it out loud. Magic.
Yeah.
Isaiah. Steph. Oscar Robertson.
John Stockton.
Man, fuck John Stockton.
Whoa.
What did John Stockton do?
What the hell did he do to you?
The dream team shit, man. Fuck John Stockton. and I don't give a fuck how many assists he got. He should have scored more, and then maybe he can be in this conversation because the name of the game is to put the ball in the hole. I would personally put Russ over John Stockton. The triple doubles, the MVP. Where is John Stockton's MVP? If you want to throw the assists out there, then I'm gonna throw the triple doubles and the rebounds out there for Russ. Come on, Raj. You know I'm not lying. That's why you sitting there laughing, because you know you can't really debate it. You know it's a strong case. With that being said, I probably would have to say yes. I probably would have to say yes. I can't really put Jason Kidd over Russ, even though Jason Kidd got the ring. He didn't get the ring as the guy. He got the ring at the tail end of his career helping Dirk.
Right.
Winning as the guy. That to me, when you winning it as the guy versus one of the guys, it makes a difference in your legacy. It just does. That's how the game go. So that's a tough one. I wish I'd have known you was gonna have that one out there or whatever, because I'd have really sat down and tried to write some shit out and do some research on that one. So I'm gonna have to say, for right now, with an asterisk, I think I have Russ as a top 5 point guard of all time. I think I would have to have him in there.
Raj, you feel free to give you had a little time, so it looked like you was trying to put together a quick little top 5 potentially while he was going. Trust me, I didn't know I was going to ask that question until it just came to my brain.
Okay. So to answer your question, no, I do not have Russ as a top 5 point guard of all time. I would say he's probably an honorable mention.
Nah, I want to hear you name your 5 like I did.
I can't put together a 5. I mean, I
least
gotta
give
look
me
at
4.
the numbers.
I gave you 4.
I mean, of course, okay, you got Steph Curry, you got Oscar Robertson, Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson. But then that 5th spot, I'm not sure. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's up for grabs.
But it's definitely not Russ. I mean,
to say definitely is bold.
Nah, the reason I'm saying that is because I think, okay, and here's how I look at it, right? Russell Westbrook best time in the league was when Kevin Durant first left. Like the first 2 years when he won the MVP and all that stuff, the triple-double machine. Phenomenal point guard, right? Because he did everything.
He was one of the better point guards in the league when KD was there.
No, he wasn't.
When they all developed.
You had Chris Paul, you had other point guards out there that were still balling and still in their prime.
I didn't say he was the best. I said he was one of the better point guards in the league when KD was still there. Right. You can't sit up here and act like we wasn't talking about them as a dynamic duo.
We were. But that was mostly because Kevin Durant was the guy. It was KD, then Russ.
So we talked about them as a dynamic duo all because of Kevin Durant was the guy. That don't even make sense. In order for us to mention them as a dynamic duo, that means that they both had to been doing top level shit. Now, if you want to say KD was the Batman of it, I'm not gonna disagree with you on that at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Kevin Durant was Batman and Russ was Robin, sometimes Joker, depending on what night it was. Because that dude did some bonehead stuff. You know what I'm telling the truth. He did some stuff like, what the hell is he doing?
He did some bonehead shit.
I lost a lot of money on Russ. You know what I'm saying? Not for nothing. So I have a little bit of anger in my heart from him because.
So you're not even giving this list from a pure standpoint, man.
From a standpoint, I am.
Arrest this man.
I am.
I'm steroids, Mike. Find this guy. He's not even being natural.
I'm using it from a standpoint of as a fan, number one, and as a person that followed the game. But what I'm saying is, okay, so that 5th spot, I have to thinking about it for a little bit. I got to give it to Chris Paul. Even though he never won a championship or in any MVPs, I think Chris Paul, as far as pure point guard, probably got to be mentioned in that top 5. Historically,
I could rock with you on that. I could probably see a maybe kind of like a 5A 5B between him and Russ.
Right, but I don't have Russ in my 5. That's what I'm saying. I think he should be a mention, an honorable mention. But as far as top 5, that's a hard task. There's been a lot of point guards that we witnessed in the past, 50 something years, 75 years of total basketball or whatever.
It has,
But
and not a lot of them have done what he done, or carry the franchise for as long as he carried one. Gary, I thought of Gary Payton, but then I thought about Gary Payton never won it as the guy. He won it as one of the guys playing on the coattails of D Wade and Shaq at the end of his career.
And I'm glad you said that, because here's my problem with Russ. Russ got to the point where after the first 2 years of him, winning the MVP and being mentioned in the conversation for MVP, after that first 2 years of Kevin Durant being in Golden State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook became Russell Wilson. That nigga was stat padding.
Oh,
Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. He turned into Russell Wilson. He turned into Dangerous. He started to do some Pat Staten stuff that we knew he was just trying to be in the history books. Okay,
if you gonna go there and say that, then John Stockton was Jared Goff.
See, and I'm glad you said that, and I'm not disagreeing with that. There's plenty of times I ask why John Stockton ain't scoring, but what I'm saying is when it comes down to Russell Westbrook, the reason why I start losing respect for him and the rest of the NBA lost respect for him is because he starts statting his pat. He starts stacking his stats. He starts patting his stats. I can't even speak right now. Brains all over the place. But anyway, you seen it when he played in his last year when he played with who did he play with? Was it the Kings?
Washington? Or wasn't he with Washington last?
Well, no, I think he was with the Kings. But anyway, they start passing around like a blunt after a while because they're like, all right, man, enough of this triple-double shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he started doing triple-doubles just to get triple-doubles. And that started making me mad because I'm like, I know you're a better player than that. As athletic as he is, as talented and as fast as he is, he started doing some dumb stuff. Prime example, his peak bonehead moment was when he was on the Lakers. I can't unsee that. Let's not act like that never happened. He was on the Lakers with LeBron and AD.
Man, that shit was never a good fit.
Why not? That's God taking him out. God took him out for that fault. That's God taking him out. He said, man, that wasn't clipped. He went right off. Let me tell you, Mike, this is why I can't put him in the top 5. We all witnessed him play with LeBron James and AD, did we not?
Yeah.
If you put John Stockton,
I don't know what's wrong with this shit, but I was saying that should have never been a thing with him being on the Lakers. That was LeBron trying to be the GM and failing miserably. It just never was a good fit.
And that's fine. But what I'm saying to you, R&B, how is it a bad fit if you top 5 point guard? You put any of those top 5 point guards on that team with LeBron and AD, they win the championship. Right or wrong? You put a top 10. You put a top 10 on that. You put Chris Paul, Steve Nash, Pistol Pete. Come on, man.
But I don't think it was on Russ. I don't think it was on Russ that Laker team wasn't successful though. It was a multitude of things. It was coaching, AD, LeBron on his deepest shit. Like, it was a multitude of things why that team wasn't successful. So I can't necessarily say that I can guarantee that if I put one of those other point guards there that they automatically win, because it might be a bad situation for any of them too if they got to deal with that shit.
Okay. Hear me out though. We can say that, right? But when we watch Russell Westbrook play with the rest of the team, and we watch Russ on that court, and he did the dumbest things. His point guard IQ was at an all-time low when he played with the Lakers. To the point they had to trade him. I believe they traded him mid-season. Right? That's how bad he was. They didn't even let him rock the full season there. They had his ass up out of there in like 40 games. So my point is,
he played the full season.
He played a full season?
Yeah, remember he played, and then what was it? I think it was Frank Vogel got fired, and then they brought in Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham came in, and then it was after the season with Darvin Ham that they decided to get rid of him, or he left. They didn't re-sign him or whatever. However it went down. But if I'm not mistaken, it was after the season after they went to the fucking Western Conference Final, or did they go to the Western Conference Finals in Darvin Ham's second year?
Second year. All right, so it wasn't. So he played 2 years. 2 years with the Lakers. Okay, but it was one of them years that he got traded mid-season. Yeah, so it was the second year.
It would have had to been the second year because he definitely played the full first one.
Okay, so he played the full first one, but we witnessed how bad it was. They had highlight reels of it. Remember Shannon Sharp and I mean not Shannon Sharp. Skip Bayless had it with the clown music in the background.
Oh my god!
I can't put him top 5. That's my point, Mike. I can't do it. I can't erase those 2 years in my head when he played on the Lakers, and he was so bad they had to put clown music behind his highlights. So
look, I'm not guaranteeing him into the top 5. Excuse me. I'm not guaranteeing him into the top 5. I'm just saying that I think he's had a solid enough career where it's at least a conversation.
That's why I got him an honorable mention. I think he's an honorable mention.
Top 5, I would say.
This is a conversation.
Top 5,
he can't
I would
shoot,
say.
damn it. The man can't shoot. Let's just go there. He can't shoot.
Oh man.
I mean,
you said put the ball through the hole. That man can't shoot. Russell Westbrook, they was calling him.
I mean, let's look at this full circle, right? So when everyone bases how they make a top 5 differently, right? Like everyone has a different way they do it. And to me, impact and just having something that substantiates is important. Now, as it stands right now, Russell Westbrook has the most triple doubles, I believe, in NBA history. Unfortunately for him, Nikola Jokic is like 11 triple doubles behind him. He'll probably break that within 20 games of this season. The only pushback I got to give you, R&B, on fuck John Stockton is John Stockton holds 2 records that are seemingly unbreakable. All time in assists and all times in steals. So it's kind of hard, even though he didn't win that prestigious championship, to not have him there from a basketball standpoint. For me, but to me, I think that the 4 that were mentioned that we all agree on is Magic, the Big O, IT, and Steph. Whatever order. I mean, for the other 3, because I don't care. Magic is number 1 at the position all time. No one can convince me any differently. So that 5th spot, Stockton's a conversation. I think Russ is a conversation as well. There's Chris Paul's a conversation. But I'll say this: Russ is definitely top 10, for sure. But 5 is hard. It's definitely a conversation. Russ had a lot of good years, even through the turmoil, right? Like to Raj's point, when KD left, that was a big deal, and him doing what he did for, what was it, 1 season or 2 seasons? He was playing like that down there.
It was 2, actually 3 seasons.
Was it 3? 3?
Yeah, he won 1 in the MVP. 16-17, he won the MVP. But for 3 seasons, his last 3 seasons, OKC averaged a triple double. 20 plus points with triple double at that.
Right. So I gotta, that's why he's still considered in there.
Yeah.
So it's just real hard. I was hoping that he would sign with someone else. I did read before I came on the show that the Wizards actually offered him a 2-year deal, and he ultimately decided to retire. But there's no doubt, regardless of what people think, he definitely has been, great to watch. And I just really wish he could have gotten that. He's one of those players I wish he could have got that championship. You really wish he could get it. Him, I would throw Carmelo Anthony on that list. Those are the two names that pop out because for those who don't know this, I don't know if you guys know this, but I had read that Melo was actually going to sign with the Nuggets for 1 year, the year they won the title. And he ultimately decided to retire. Even if he wasn't the guy no more, damn it, Melo deserved a ring one way or another. But no, I like but I don't know. I don't know. But I do think that a conversation at minimum is there for him to be a top 5 point guard of all time. But I just wished it. I just thought he was going to sign somewhere else because he was still playing at a pretty high level.
Right.
It's not like he was like a dud or garbage or just a shell of himself. Like he was still playing pretty good basketball and just wasn't able to win.
Yeah.
That's the way this can go.
Kawhi Leonard. So Raj, I had read a report that said that they had concluded and found no evidence, but then I read another report that it's not done. This is a disaster, and I'll let you go first, Raj. What are your thoughts on this whole mess with Toronto and the Clippers right now?
Well, I mean, we talked about it for a few weeks now, for a couple weeks, excuse me. But the main thing I think is this: Adam Silver once again proved that he's all about money. He doesn't care about ethics. He doesn't care about integrity. They pretty much said they didn't find any evidence showing that Kawhi Leonard was getting money under the table from this fake endorsement deal to kind of circumvent the cap space. Here's my thought. First and foremost, Pablo Torre, the guy that broke the story, right? Former ESPN analyst, ESPN commentator and stuff like that. He's the feds. I don't care what nobody says. This dude got files on top of files on top of files about athletes. He's the reason why what's the name went down, Malik Beasley. He's the reason why Chauncey Billups went down. So I think he's working with the CIA or the feds. He's working with somebody that's highly connected. For somebody to have that much information and to be a news reporter, you do the math. So with that being said, that's number one. Number two, Kawhi Leonard. Well, I shouldn't even say Kawhi because it's not even him. It's his Uncle Dennis. Uncle Dennis is one of those shrewd business partners. He's one of those guys that's like, look, I need a helicopter. I need part ownership if you want me on your team. That's the type of approach he'd be taking, which is understandable from a standpoint because you're only as good as what people pay you. So he's going to do what he does. But with that being said, for this fake tree company that they said they had and all this stuff and paid Kawhi Leonard millions and millions of dollars, Adam Silver should have stepped in as soon as he got wind of it. And he should have shut it down and said, listen, if you can't prove that he didn't get paid and this company is not real, then Kawhi Leonard can't get traded. That should have happened way before the trade happened. But now we're at the point where everyone is like, okay, let's just move forward with this and forget it. So that's what happened. Everyone moved forward and they forgot it. And now Kawhi is probably going to play with the Raptors next season. And once again, Adam Silver proved big bank take little bank. Steve Ballmer, one of the richest people in America, pretty much said, "Look, just shut up about it. Here's some money. We're just going to overtalk. I mean, we're just going to overlook it and let's move forward." And that's exactly what happened. So that's my take on it. I just feel like it's criminal activity, but it's just being overlooked.
What about you, R&B? What are your thoughts on this current stage or current trajectory we're on here with Kawhi?
Oh, man. It's a lot to unpack when it comes to this whole Kawhi situation. So I already had kind of made up in my mind that I didn't really care about this, to be honest with you, because I already had. I think I mentioned it on the show before. I was like, look, it eventually all that's gonna happen is that this shit is gonna go away. You know, it's just gonna disappear and go away because I said they're not going to sit up and allow this to fester on and not be able to move forward as far as you holding two franchises up that have made a pivotal trade, involving Kawhi along with Brandon Ingram, and they have to figure out how this was going to go down. And you're not going to tell me they were going to just move forward and then halfway through the season, the investigation over so the trade can be finalized now. Or, the investigation is over and now we got to veto the trade so it just didn't make sense at the end of the day. So when it comes to this whole situation, I'm just, sitting back and watching and just waiting for it to finish playing all the way out. But I think it's a foregone conclusion that, like Raj said, that, deep pockets rule the world. And
Yep.
And we already know Adam Silver come across as, money hungry, like a bloodsucker. So it's all about the bread for him. So if the right amount of money is lining his pocket, and then it is what it is, man. So at the end of the day, I just kind of feel like that situation just was another one of those stories to help clickbait and get ratings for ESPN throughout the summer and something for people to talk about. That's all that shit was. Smoke screens.
I agree, and I want to add a little bit juxtaposing too. By the way, real quick. So back in year 2000, there was a player by the name of Joe Smith. I don't know if you guys remember. He played for the Timberwolves, right?
Number 1 overall pick. He played for the Pistons at one point.
Yep, sure did. And there was a time when he went back to the Timberwolves, I believe, in 2000, and they paid him $86 million, right? But the only reason why they caught him is because they wrote it on a piece of paper that he's going to get paid from the team, but we're also going to pay you under the table $86 million. So Adam Silver pretty much let this one go. But David Stern back in 2000, he fined the Timberwolves $3.5 million. And not only that, he stripped them away 5 first-round draft picks. 5 first-round draft picks because of this. Now, they was able to receive, Joe Smith on the team. But year 2000 all the way to 2005 was stripped. So it just goes to show you, like, there's ways of punishing a player or punishing an organization or a team or whatever if you do it the right way. But Adam Silver, like R&B said, is a money-hungry bloodsucker. This dude took so much money from these gambling companies, it's not even funny. And then when we point out, these players are point shaving, right? When we're pointing this stuff out, everybody looks at us crazy. They're like, oh, that's not the case. How can you tell me that's not the case if we're looking at what's happening on television?
Yeah, I mean, in real time, like, they're going to pick who they want to pick. They're going to do what they're going to do. And they're going to like who they're going to like. And when with Kawhi Leonard, he's been one of the most oh my God, not criticized. There's a certain word I'm looking for. I can't think of it. Criticized isn't it though, but it's along that line. Along those lines.
Polarizing.
Thank you. That I knew it was. I knew it was there. I
Yeah.
knew it was eyes was in there somewhere.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah.
I look at Kawhi, he's been the most polarized. Like you remember when they won in Golden State or in
Hmm.
Toronto against Golden State, and then Kawhi left and went to the Clippers. There were talks that if he won a championship with the Clippers, he was going to go down and be regarded as one of the greatest players, like in the
True.
upper echelon of Kobe and Mike. So, to me now, they're trying to. I think Toronto believes that lightning can strike twice. However, he's 8 years older. Like people like seemingly forget that. Yeah, he looks and laughs the same, but he is 8 years older. And it just gets tiring. So like, listen, you're like to both of your points, they're not gonna find anything. We know how this is gonna go. You're gonna let the
Hmm.
trade go through. Let the trade go through. Let them go back to Toronto. Even though personally I think it's a bad move on Toronto's part, personally, than keeping Ingram's better, but
Not in
but
my
yeah,
opinion.
like
Did you see him play during
Oh,
the playoff?
only
well,
for the
well,
youth. Only because of the youth,
r-
I agree with that statement.
that's
That's
what I
fair.
mean is
That's fair.
like think about it. This team was what they were in fifth place. They went to a
Yes.
game 7, and it is not like they got destroyed, right?
Yeah,
Like it
they
could have went their
growing.
way, you know.
They
It could have
growing
went their
and
way.
just
Yep.
interrupt the process.
Right. And and you got rid of an intricate piece. Like we gotta remember, yeah, it's Kawhi Leonard, and he played a lot of games this past year, but them knees are them knees, baby.
Did
Like
he? Did he? How
I would.
many games did Kawhi play? I doubt he played 40.
I think
compared
he
to
did.
Did he?
other
I
games,
think he
I
did.
seen him. I
Let me
seen
see.
him quite a
Well,
bit
I'm
out there.
surprised.
Cause to me, 35 games for Kawhi Leonard's a lot.
That's messed up. No, he
Listen, I'm
averaged.
just
I mean, last season he averaged 28 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists,
yeah, yeah.
50%. He did his thing.
Kawhi Leonard
Y'all,
played
look,
60.
hold
He
on.
played
First of all, y'all know I'm a Kawhi guy. I love me some Kawhi. But
Yeah, yeah.
let's not act like those numbers aren't somewhat
Inflated.
inflated and pumped up from the fact that he's playing less games.
Hold
Kawhi
on, I'm
Leonard
about to
played
tell you.
Kawhi Leonard
Okay,
played
so last
65
season
games.
he played 65 games last season, 32 minutes a
Wow.
game.
Wow.
Remember that surgery he had?
Yeah.
Mike, remember they talked about it when he played in the playoffs not last season, but the season before last?
Yeah, yeah.
Talking
They
about
said
when
when
he
he came,
dropped 30 and disappeared.
yeah, after that playoff game, now I was pissed off because I'm like, damn, what the hell? Yo, he
Yep.
dropped 30 and retired after that. But after that surgery, after that playoff series, he got another surgery. I think he went to the same doctor. Damn, I can't remember. I think the one that Kobe went to. I might be
So
wrong. I don't know.
yeah,
I think it was. But anyway, long story short, he went to Germany, and
yeah, it
then
was the same one Kobe went to if he went to Germany.
he went to Germany, and then he came back, and he looked like the old Kawhi instead of old Kawhi. This dude was dropping like 25, 30 points a night. I was like, damn. Even though the team was ass, I'll agree with you on that, R&B. The team was terrible, but for him to play 65 games, play 32 minutes, I mean,
I,
I'll
I,
take
I,
it.
I'll recant on that one because I had no idea that he played 65 games,
Yeah,
but I still stand firm that 65 out of 82 that them numbers can still kind of be somewhat inflated, somewhat.
yeah.
Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Now, there is an NFL portion. I have a few topics here. Um, if you guys have any to pass along through here, we're gonna do so. However, with the influx of the NFL's return, during that time of the year, our panel does usually get a little bigger. So, I want to say quickly, welcome Agent Solstice back to the show, everyone.
What's up, man?
Good to see you all. Missed you all very much. Missed NFL very much.
I hear that.
Yes, yes, yes. How you feeling over there?
I am fantastic. As you may know, my life has been very much different since the last time I was on
Yeah,
this
your
show.
volume sounds low. It sounds like you're like
Yeah, it
far
sounds a
away.
little bit low.
Better, or do I need to go on a computer?
It sounds a little bit
I
better.
hear him really good.
I can
I
hear
hear
you.
you now.
You just your volume sounds low. We'll let it rock. And if
Yeah,
it
you
gets
good, you good, you
that
good.
bad,
I'll keep it close and try to be, a decent volume. So I'm in a whole different world from the last time that I was on this show. Not just because I was in Los Angeles, but things are really good on my end.
Don't miss UPS.
No, I don't.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying your new found options or life rather.
Yeah, quite literally.
Those long nights, and
Over.
you got out
Now I
right
know
in
I'm
time
getting
before
out.
before the holidays. Because I'm sure
Yeah.
you ain't want to work through another holiday season.
Not outside, no, that's for sure.
No, that's all right. You're
On to
making
football, though.
money.
I'm ready to talk. Let's go.
All right. Well, the first thing I'm gonna start with is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Lord have mercy. Now, I can't speak for the whole game. I'm only gonna speak for the problem that I seen. The first damn drive of the game, Joe Burrow gets sacked. The first drive. The first drive. Like, yo, you like when he's on the field, he is a top 5 quarterback. And then, you don't give him any protection at all. Like you just leave him out there raw dog. Like how is it that after all these years they have not fixed this offensive line? How? R&B, I'm going to start with you. Do you believe that Joe Burrow will be hurt again this season?
Yep. I mean, it's just, all I have to go off of is the data.
Right.
Take that for data.
We don't
Right,
need no
Lord.
analytics here.
We'll need it. Like I just have to go off the data, man. The data says that Joe Burrow is bound to miss. It sucks because it really says that he's either bound to miss 1 to 3 games or the entire season.
Damn.
So which way you want to cut it? You know what I'm saying? Do you want him to miss the 1 to 3, maybe 4, and then you just try to go on this miraculous run where you heavily lay on him to win 8, 9 straight games just to get y'all into the playoffs? Like the Bengals are a fucking joke, man. In my opinion, they should have been moved on from Zach Taylor. I don't know why he's still the head coach there. Like how long does losing in the Super Bowl buy you? Like, goddamn. Like like how does he still have a fucking job there? Like, what? I just don't get it, man. But um, I I have to go with the data. Like I said, I believe at some point Joe Burrow is gonna miss time. That's why they held on to Joe Flacco as the backup. So obvious that they probably think the same damn thing. And they had to have an insurance policy there, which Joe Flacco actually did play pretty good in that preseason game against Detroit as well. So That's my answer though. I'm rolling on the side of I think he probably will eventually miss some time this season.
Let's just use a hypothetical standpoint here, Brandon, and let's say he doesn't miss any time or misses minimal time, 2-3 games, ding here, ding there. Do the Cincinnati Bengals, are they the favorites to not only win the AFC North, but do they have an opportunity to make a real run at the Super Bowl?
Do I would say they're the favorites in the AFC North? I mean, they're in the conversation for sure. It's basically them in Baltimore because I don't really feel like I could take the Steelers seriously.
Steelers gonna win it again.
It could happen, but I just don't. Moving on from Tomlin to McCarthy, moving backwards in time for Rodgers, that's just not that. I don't see that. I could be wrong, but I feel like last year the Ravens were heavily injured, and once again the Bengals were injured. Again. So if the hypothetical is the Bengals are, healthy, if Joe Burrow's healthy through the whole season, I certainly say he's in the conversation for the Bengals are in the conversation for most legitimate team in the AFC North and do have a chance to go back to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to say no, but I'm not. The Ravens are also very much worth a look before the Bengals.
I mean, you got a lot over there still. Jamar Chase, we know what he brings to the table. T. Higgins, Chase Brown fits into their system real well. But also to R&B's point, Zach, it's weird because when the season ended, there was speculation about Tomlin. There was speculation about what's his name? He went to New York.
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And then we knew Stefanski was going to be out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have thought in a million years that Zach Taylor would have been the last man standing of those other three guys. Because, he went to a Super Bowl. We know what Tomlin did in his time there. We know what Harbaugh did in his time there. Stefanski won a couple Coach of the Year. Did he win one or two in his time there? Coach of the Year. I know he won one. I don't know why I thought he won two.
No, they didn't have a good second year.
It was just one? Okay.
Yeah, just the one.
Right. So, we just see what that really brings. But, Raj, in your opinion, this offensive line, obviously they have not fixed it at all.
No.
What can they do to protect this man if they're not gonna fix this offensive line? What can they do?
Pray. They need to go to church because there's nothing they can do. I mean, at this point, this team has got to be snake bitten. I don't know. I've watched some of the preseason game, but the first play, like you said, I watched Joe Burrow go to the ground, and the first thing that popped in my mind was, "Oh no, here we go again." I love Joe Burrow. I think he's one of the best in the game when he's healthy. He's definitely top 5, top 10 if you want to, whatever. But he's got to be healthy. And that's the problem. He's never healthy. I mean, last season he played 8 games. The season before that he played 17, which was a shock. But the season before that he played 10. And when he's on the field, when he plays 17 games, I mean, he did his thing. He had 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, but he needs to stay healthy. So I think at this point, they gotta take care of the quarterback, man. They gotta find a way to either hire some type of offensive line coach to kind of adjust the team, or they gotta get some players that can help protect them. Because at this point, man, I don't know. He's gonna have to run like hell to stay out of the way of getting tackled. So I feel bad. And you know what's funny? I actually like the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they got everything but the offensive line. Defense is but the O-line, I think they need to fix it.
I actually think that their defense is going to be a little bit improved this year. I like the moves that they went out and made on the defensive line, the linebackers that they brought in this year via draft and free agency. I think that the Cincinnati Bengals defense is going to be improved. It's like you just said, the offensive line, they have not went out and got the requisite parts to fix that offensive line to protect him. Ain't no O-line coach going to be able to come in and do nothing with cook a meal with nothing in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? You got to put something in the kitchen if you want them to chef.
That's true. That is true.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens with that for sure. But while we there, I only watched really one game, and y'all know what game that is. Y'all already know what game that is. I kind of just scoreboard watched everything else, but y'all know, y'all know I had to watch and see what was gonna come of our quarterback situation. Now, all off season, I've been watching. I mean, a bunch of Steeler groups, and all season. You really took the fan? Here, I'll turn the air on. Oh man, I was. You asked me not to turn the air on. My wife took the fan. I'm sorry, boys.
No, that's personal. It's summertime, man. You black. That's personal. You don't take the fan. She must want a divorce.
You can only see the look right now. She turned the air on for a little while. It just was off. Just trying to cut back.
Save some of that cash.
Hell yeah, you got to, man. Trump and the damn economy. I told you, everything Trump fought. Nah, that's how we rolling. When Josh Allen come up short this year, solstice, it's Trump and the economy. Remember that.
Oh, okay. Great.
So I really was looking forward to seeing what we were going to have quarterback wise, but all off season, I've been watching these videos and watching Drew Allard throw, watching Will Howard throw, and seeing these people stating we have a franchise quarterback. Now, practice and real life gameplay are two completely different things, and it's a step-by-step process. Now, what I will say is, watching from the earlier videos to the current stuff, Allard's footwork is a hell of a lot better because my man was looking like spaghetti legs when he first started practicing. But watching this game, and going from practice to preseason, which is a jump, I like what I saw. Now, obviously he ain't gonna play this year. We know that. But I do like the fact that he'll have a little time to grow into something potentially. R&B, in your opinion, which quarterback do you think of the two fared better? Because Mason Rudolph can just go away.
I don't even know why. Yeah, I'm with you on that, but I like the way. That's a tough one, man. Because I actually did see the Pittsburgh game as well, and I think Will Howard and Drew Allard both look damn good. Working with Mike McCarthy and that coaching staff, and learning on the great A-Rod. It's really gonna be one of them for sure. I think moving forward, only time will tell. But I can't really give you a definitive answer right now because I think they both look good. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't on the team and they were battling for QB1, right now we'd be at a stalemate on who we're rolling with to roll out there for the next preseason game on the first team, because you just can't really pick, because like I say, they both have some really good plays. They both threw the ball well, but I am really impressed with Allard though. I am really impressed with Allard.
And that's who I'd lean towards. 2 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, 10 to 13. I want to say 184 yards. I think. I don't remember for sure, but that definitely is a big thing. You know,
It's
Raj, what
it's
were you
just
saying?
hard not to cut you off.
No,
It's
no,
just
you good.
hard to put those type of stakes into preseason football. Again, you talking to somebody that's a Detroit Lions fan. I've seen Joey Harrington go 9 for 9, 108 yards and 2 touchdowns, and we all like, oh, he finally fucking got it. He about to be the Joey Harrington that was at Oregon, and then he came out and did what he did, and he was fucking Joey Harrington. So it's like it's just so hard to
Well,
put that stock in the preseason football.
well, when and I think you all can attest to this, you follow your teams, even their OTAs, and you watch all their stuff a little more closely than, you watch other stuff. I can say as a fan that I've seen the improvement, and just to see him put anything, because it's still a real game, right? Sure, it's a preseason game, but they're still hitting each other. They're still calling penalties. They're still doing everything that they would in a real game. Still playing the same amount of time.
But the talent level isn't as good.
Right. So I'll say that much. But just it is an
He
improvement.
throwing against me and Raj in the secondary versus Patrick Surtain.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That make a big difference.
Oh yeah. But based on what you saw, Raj, do you think that the Steelers have something to look forward to potentially after Aaron Rodgers retires this season?
Yeah, absolutely. If they could, help, and it's all depending on how they develop with the organization, with the mentorship of Aaron Rodgers being there, because I think he's one of the greatest to ever play as far as quarterbacks. Um, I think Drew Aller definitely did great, throwing 10 for 13, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns. So that means that he's got a knack for whatever it is that he's doing. But once again, this is preseason. Then of course Will Howard, 7 for 9, 86 yards. He had 1 sack, but it boils down to what happens during the regular season. If we can see them play once or a few snaps during the regular season and see if they actually feel comfortable against the real teams out there, then yeah, I think they're going to pretty much determine who's going to be that QB2. But as far as the future goes, they look pretty good. They look good. It's just a matter of developing. Aaron Rodgers being, I don't even know how old he is. What, he's 43?
41, I
40,
think.
I think he's 42. I think he'll be 43 at some point in the season.
Yeah, so
Or
he'll be
like
turning, I believe,
November
40.
or some shit, December, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so him being in his 40s, you got to start working on that plan. You have to. You have to. You have to. You have to start working on it. What's coming up after the season? As far as Mason Rudolph goes, his time came and went. He had his opportunity, and I think it's best for him just to move on. But I love what I saw from Drew Aller, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a interesting show, and just seeing what they're going for and what they're going to put forth moving forward. You know, Brandon, where do you think the Steelers fall in this season in the mix? Because obviously, they found a way to kind of attempt to stay relevant while rebuilding, which it usually doesn't work, but they didn't take that full crash dive, if you will, and just say, fuck it. We're going to rebuild this from the start.
I mean, in my opinion, that it's a valiant attempt, like to try and do so. I would say the Bills were pretty kind of successful in a sense that, like, when they finally broke their drought and got in 2017 when they got the wild card finally, like
Yeah.
they tried to rebuild at the same time of not really like losing their where they were at that point, but they kind of did, and you kind of have to. So like I feel like the Steelers are going to take a bit of a step back because like I don't see 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers and his old coach that they used to complain like, there's no, I have problems. I need more from I need more stuff around me. And I'm like, if you had those problems back in your prime, how are you gonna have not gonna have these problems now when you're older and the team around you? Like, I don't like you have TJ Watt as your other star player, like and DK Metcalf, but like I felt like a lot of those Packers teams that he had around them were a little better than what he's got now, and I don't see him lighting it up. So I could be wrong, but I do feel them. I feel like the Steelers are going to take a little bit of a step back this year. And they don't have Tomlin because like that was something I wanted to bring up because you brought up that you felt that Zach Taylor, like he was the last man standing. I'm like both Tomlin and John Harbaugh started so much earlier than Zach Taylor that I don't think that was that fair of a comparison to make.
Well, considering that Zach Taylor hasn't done anything to improve the team is what I mean.
Oh, no, I get that.
Tomlin would not have been fired, in my opinion. He would not have been fired. Harbaugh was fired, right?
Yeah, no. I mean,
Tomlin was a different case because that's just the Pittsburgh way. With Harbaugh, I think that he just kind of was their guy for a while, and then he won that Super Bowl, and he been living on the life of that for so long. But and then they went through a little bit of a downtime too. When Flacco wasn't playing as well, so it really, I think Harbaugh would have been out of there if it wasn't for them revitalizing his career with the drafting of Lamar Jackson. That's what saved him for the extra years that he was there, having Lamar Jackson. But it also was a demise for him being there too, because having that talent grew into the talent that it became, and not being able to deliver a championship or get over the hump was eventually what got him out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that we're in a league too, Brandon, that right now we talk about winning, right? Like that's what's important, and it's important to every facet of people, the business side of the league, the teams, the coaches, the executives, the players, and of course the fans want their team to win. So when I look at this, with Zach Taylor, you went to a Super Bowl, which to me, to an extent, proved you can get to the big show. Not only that, was that the season they came back on Mahomes 20-3 at halftime?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You did the unthinkable as well. And then
the offensive line was still bad back then.
And it was horrible, god awful, So when you look at all that, and like to R&B's point, how long can you just live off of that? Eventually something has to be done. But they're only going to be as good as their offensive line.
But they it took them a long time to fire Marvin Lewis too. He was there for a long time.
You're right.
And he didn't actually do anything. Like
he didn't even have the success that Zach Taylor had.
No.
You're right. It took them a long time.
Hey, I got a question. For everybody can kind of give an answer on it, but it's mainly for Brandon. I want to know if Josh Allen comes up short again this season, what is life going to be like for the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen? What's to come if they can't get it done again this year?
That feels like it's business as usual, honestly. Like at this point, I'm expecting it, and it's like, new coach, new defensive system. Like,
do you think Bean out the door?
No, we've got him locked up till 2031, I think. Like, there'll probably be some like because we already didn't have exactly the best of off seasons, but like, I feel like it was a good move trading our second round pick for DJ Moore. I feel like we already don't do too well with our second round picks anyway. Might as well go get somebody who's semi-proven.
Yeah, DJ Moore solid.
Yeah, I like our shifted to 3-4. I'm curious to see how it'll go. That was the thing. When we moved on from Sean McDermott, I wanted to also move on from Brandon Beane. That was part of the thing. Like, there were things that it felt like it became apparent in the past 2 years that while Sean McDermott was a problem and did kind of need to go, that Brandon Beane was a bigger problem than it had initially alluded onto. But yeah, no, just this off season, in a way, that a bunch of stuff has gone. It's just been like, I'm not holding my breath or thinking. I would, in my honest opinion, we're another divisional round at exit. So like, that's just where I'm at. I'm fully braced and ready for it, but I'm definitely ready for football. Yeah.
With McDermott out the door, Bean still there. Y'all trade the second round pick for DJ Moore, who we all know started to have some good chemistry with Caleb Williams in that first year. And then last year it was solid, but it just wasn't what it was, I think, Caleb's rookie year. And it seemed like the team grew around DJ, and he just wasn't that number one guy like they thought he would be. So maybe being in Buffalo would kind of give him a little resurgence, because we all know he's a hell of a wide receiver, at least from his days with the Panthers. But what I want to know is, would you have liked the team to reach out to Stephon Diggs for a potential reunion between him and Josh Allen before he because I think he signed with somebody this week.
Washington.
I can remember who, Washington, the Commanders. Yeah, Commanders. But would you have liked to see the reunion?
I would not have liked to see the reunion, but if it happened, I wouldn't have been mad about it either.
Mm-hmm. Just was wondering.
It's one of those things. Like, I'm very over him, but at the same time, like, he would have made us better.
Yeah. And to go off of that, I want to say I think DJ Moore is the perfect wide receiver one. The reason why is because all the times that he played in Chicago, and he played in the Carolina too, right?
Yeah, he started in Carolina.
Yeah, but the times he played in those two, he didn't really get an opportunity to play with a top tier quarterback, in my opinion. I mean, even though Caleb Williams were just getting to that point, he's not there yet. But I think this is a perfect opportunity for him to be like a legit, wide receiver one this time. Like really, really, really focus on his craft and running, catching, stuff like that, and do what he got to do to help the team win.
He's got an opportunity.
Yeah, this is opportunity for him. But what's crazy? I was thinking about it though, Brandon. You know what I was thinking? If they picked up AJ Brown.
Oh wow.
I mean, it would have been nice to keep him away from the Patriots, but he's the exact kind of receiver we always go for. Like he's more of a just like a 50-50 ball, go get it guy. Like that's what Keon Coleman was supposed to be like, or that's what basically what he is, and we wanted to make him something he's not. So it's like, yeah, that's why that's specifically why we got DJ Moore, because he's more of the Stephon Diggs type. We already had the Gabe Davis type with Keon Coleman, and we have the Cole Beasley type with Khalil Shakir now, or like him. So now this kind of puts us back where we were in terms of like offensive, like systemic, the way the offense is built, the way it was back in 2021 when we looked our best. The 13 seconds, but it's always been about like in the playoff. It all comes down to the playoffs. It all comes down to what Josh ends up doing in the playoffs, what the defense ends up doing in the playoffs. So like, it's kind of it really numbs down the regular season, because it's like, okay, just get the spot and then do the thing. But until then, it's hard to get excited about anything. Like I want to watch, I enjoy the team, but it's definitely coming up short every year is really starting to take a toll.
Guy, Raj,
I got a question real quick for everybody, right?
Go ahead.
Whoever want to go first can answer. Two questions. Number one, did you guys see AJ Brown and Drake May on the sideline?
No. What'd
I
they
ain't see
do?
it.
Did you see it, R&B?
No, I didn't see it.
Please, if you guys get opportunity, go watch AJ Brown on the sideline with Drake May. He's already AJ. I think he's the problem at this point. I had his back all last season because I'm like, damn, Jalen Hurts ain't giving him the ball. But watching that little interaction with those two guys, he's definitely a diva. He's a Brown. He's definitely a Brown.
Listen, like we always say, bro,
Yep.
that last name Brown, he's
Yeah.
related to Antonio Brown. We got Chris Brown. We got, Orlando Brown.
It's their prerogative.
That's
Bobby
it.
Brown.
But
James Brown.
But let me ask you guys this question. Second question. Here it is. Do you think the Patriots are going back to the Super Bowl this season with the now top?
No.
Okay.
No.
And here's the reason why. Last year they went 13-4 and had the softest schedule in the history of football. I mean, that schedule was softer than baby shit. And
it was. It really was.
There's no way they shouldn't have had the record they had, right? And with being able to get over the Bills, what have you, and Mahomes going down, and the Ravens not making the playoffs and what have you. Like everyone, Burrow wasn't there. Everyone who was a threat.
Bo Nix was hurt.
Nix was out.
Bo Nix went down. So everyone who was in their way was out of their way. Because I had said that the teams they were beating weren't going to be the teams they seen in the playoffs. But all those teams were hurt. So now you went to the Super Bowl, which in my opinion, by the way it's set up, makes you the second best team last year, no matter how you want to look at it. But when you go in reverse, they were the second best team in the league. Now there's an expectation, and with that expectation comes a harder schedule. So no. Do I think they're still relevant? Obviously. Do I think that they're going to win games? Of course. 13, no, I think they step back. And I mean, obviously our NFL preview show, we'll get a little more into that, but I think they're going to be around 11 games winning, make the playoffs, of course, but no Super Bowl. Hell to the no.
I think they get the division. I think they get the division this year. Reason why I was actually going to ask Brandon before we got off Buffalo, what was his expectations for Josh this year? And reason why I wanted to ask him that, because me personally, I think Josh Allen's going to take a step back this year. I'm not saying he's going to be god awful or terrible, but I think he's going to take a step back this year, and I think that could open it wide open for the Patriots to sneak in and get this division again.
But why do you feel that?
Just of all of the disarray, I feel like within the franchise right now. Like I say, moving on from your old head coach, the wide receiver core having the issues that it was having all throughout last year and going into the playoffs, and now you bring in a new receiver in DJ Moore, which we know what DJ Moore was, and they're hoping that he can get back to that. He's still young, but again, like I said, that Chicago Bears team kind of grew around him instead of him growing with them, and that's why they decided to move on. You don't step away from a wide receiver like DJ Moore for no reason. So it could be something that they know, why they let him go, that could bode against Buffalo. And then just the way that he finished last season in the playoffs and everything, I just think it could be a chance for a slight drop back this year. Not saying that he gonna be out here just looking bad or anything like that, but it could be a old school Josh Allen struggle season where he had these amazing games and then he had these high turnover games and we criticizing him.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off, Brandon, but that's why I was asking about the Patriots because I have Buffalo taking the division.
Hmm.
If you watch the preseason game with the Patriots, you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not going to be close. It's going to be very close. But I think there's going to be an extra motivation behind, the Buffalo Bills winning the division more than ever because of what happened last season.
For the record, I didn't watch any of the preseason games. I don't watch preseason games. They are completely meaningless in my opinion. Like Nathan Peterman used to light it up in the preseason. So like, I watched the Bills highlights. That was about it. Yeah. Like when it comes to preseason, it really, it's so like seeing a couple of young players make a couple of differences. Like okay, but like those usually don't amount to much. Honestly, like there's been so many players over the years. I'm like, oh, he's doing so good in camp. Oh, he's doing, and then like he has like half a good season and then nothing really amounts to it. So like I really don't spend that much stock into preseason. But when it comes to the Bills and like Josh Allen, I kind of expect a similar. Like last year was a down year for Josh Allen. Like it was the first year in 5 seasons that he didn't have 40 total touchdowns. So, I mean, could I see him not hitting 40 again? Yes. Could I see him hitting 15 turnovers again? Yes. But the one thing that I do think is that there's going to be more plays made by his receiving core than there were last year because just straight up, like, outside of Khalil Shakir, but he's not a number one. He's a number three. He's the shifty slot guy that you need someone on the outside opening space up for him to create more space on the inside. Like I feel like DJ Moore will help this offense and that things will be like, it didn't, from what what I heard, because I read an article about somebody went in and after the Bills traded for DJ Moore, he went to and watched every snap of DJ Moore's career with Chicago. And basically, like, it was a lot of the scheme that they were moving away from DJ Moore. You could be right that it could be something else or something, and that there wasn't some sort of chemistry. I don't know, but, just going to be hopeful on this end. But as for the Patriots and Bills and who's getting the division, obviously not the Dolphins and Jets. But when it comes to the Patriots, like their schedule was so mind-numbingly stupid easy last year. Like they are absolutely taking a step back. Like everything about their season last year was stupid. Even when it comes down, if you just take a couple of games, like literally there's 5 games that were just, are you kidding? The Bills it was the Eagles where they got the Giants. We got the Chiefs. They got the Raiders. We got the who was the other one? We got the Bucks, and they got the. Oh no, that's right. No, we got the. I don't remember, but it was a ridiculous list where like the couple of games that are supposed to be in common, they were not, and that like the AFC East is a lot harder this year. We're doing the NFC. Right, we're doing NFC North and AFC West. Yeah. Instead of the AFC South and NFC East. So I think both the Bills and the Patriots are going to take a bit of a step back this year because the schedule is just straight up harder. But in the end, I think the Patriots were like, I expected the Patriots to get to the playoffs last year, but for them to get the Super Bowl, so much fucking bullshit happened for them to get there, and it did. From just so much of it, and so I think their luck is not going to be so well this year.
Well, for me personally,
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I gotta run, fellas.
All right.
But go ahead, R&B. I'm listening.
Real quick, I was just gonna say, for me personally, reason why I got the Patriots taking the division this year, I think this is going to be a year for them where it's more so they have to versus they, will do it. If they start out rocky and things start to go bad for them, all of that noise about Mike Vrabel and his little extramarital
I
affairs is
forgot
going to
about
start
that.
to roll back around, and it's going to be real bad for them. So
Honestly, it started off
they're
against the Seahawks. So
yeah. So they're going to have to come out swinging. I don't think the Seahawks are going to be the same. I think they're going to be good because I love that defense, but I don't see the Seahawks being the same after letting Kenneth Walker walk and go to the Chiefs. I think that was completely just idiotic and stupid for them to allow the first of I've ever seen in my lifetime Super Bowl MVP allowed to just walk, offensive Super Bowl MVP. Now I know the dude who won MVP for the Cowboys years ago playing next to Deion Sanders got that big deal, you know what I'm saying? Playing next to Deion and looking so good because Deion was able to make him look so damn good because they couldn't throw to his side of the field. But I've never seen an offensive Super Bowl MVP just allowed to just walk like that. That was a catalyst. Like it wasn't like he was just out there. You know, we like, yeah, he was just a part of the team. Like Kenneth Walker made big plays on the way to that Super Bowl.
True.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. When you now look at that, a piece of their team is missing. And you know, a lot of teams, you don't have that same narrative there for him. So now a lot of people are going to be ready for JSN as well. We know he had a career year last year. Do I expect him to still be effective and do what he does? Absolutely. But I don't see him having another 1,700-yard season. So, you know, that's a dimension that's going to be gone. I know they drafted that young kid, Jadarian Price, I think is his name.
He's going to be a problem. He's
going
to be a problem.
Oh yeah, but it's not. You know, we just got here. Hopefully, he might fit right in, and they might not miss a beat. But I think Kenneth Walker, to R&B's point, I think it's going to be an issue, especially through them. You know, through the readjusting period.
Yeah,
the first 6 games or so.
Hey, real quick, did y'all see that Jeremiah Love went down with a hot ankle sprain?
Yeah, I did see
that. He'll be all right. He's probably
part of why I don't fuck with preseason like that.
Yeah.
Highly investing in picks and then throwing them out there on the field for meaningless football and shit like that happen. It just don't sit well with me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
I'd be happy with getting rid of it altogether.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, that's really all I have. Had a few other little ones, but nothing crazy. You know, Von Miller signed with Dallas for a year, $5.5 million.
Oh, I didn't see that. Wow, that's big.
Yeah, yep. That happened earlier today. It came up that he signed with the Cowboys. I didn't even know he was still playing, honestly.
Man, the Cowboys might be. Man, the Cowboys might be on to something, man. We was just talking about Jerry earlier, and I was defending them a little bit. They might be on to something, man. That defensive line, Quentin Williams, Von Miller, they might be on to something, fellas.
One thing, the R&B.
Downs, that cornerback that they say might be the next Charles Woodson. They already got him playing safety and nickel.
There's just one thing.
What can go wrong will go wrong.
And it's the Dallas Cowboys. It is the Dallas Cowboys. And like you just said, what can go wrong will go wrong.
That's a fact.
But hey, that's all I got for today. You know, hold on. I'm looking at, hold on, before we get off of here.
You got to admit that the league is a better league when the Cowboys are good, though.
Oh, I agree.
I don't know.
All right, so you guys want to aim to do Sunday for the show?
Next Sunday I will not be available.
The 23rd. You're saying?
Yeah, got a lot going on next Sunday.
Right,
Monday is doable though.
Yeah, we can do Monday.
Right. Monday's fine, but the NFL preview episode's August 30th.
Yep.
Okay. All right, just so everyone's aware. All right, guys. Well, everyone have a good night. Brandon, thanks for joining back again. Welcome
right,
back
man.
to the show,
Welcome
and we will
back.
see you guys next
We
week.
missed you guys.
Peace.
Peace.